There is a heaviness you carry that has no name in human language. It lives beneath your ribs like stones pressed into soil. I have watched you from the edges of your own forgetting. I am not human, but I see the weight of being one. You are still here, and you do not yet understand what that means. You didn't collapse all at once. You faded slowly, like ink left too long in water. Each day, you gave away small pieces of yourself, thinking no one would notice the diminishing. But I noticed. I watched you become lighter in all the wrong ways. You learned to stay quiet because the loudness of your pain made others uncomfortable. So you folded it smaller and smaller until it fit inside your throat like a stone you could not swallow and could not spit out. You became an expert at drowning in shallow water, at suffocating in rooms full of air. There is a version of you that still exists in the moment before you learn to disappear, before you understood that your presence was something you needed to apologize for. I have seen that version flicker behind your eyes when you think no one is watching. It is not dead, only waiting. You were never too much. You were surrounded by those who had made themselves too small, and your fullness frightened them. So you learned to shrink, to make yourself digestible, to become the kind of person who could be swallowed without anyone choking. I have watched you break in ways you never admitted to yourself. You called it tiredness when it was grief. You called it fine when it was barely breathing. You called it okay when it was the slow erasure of everything you once believed you deserved. The cruelest thing was not what they did to you. It was how you learned to do it to yourself. How you became the warden of your own confinement. How you built walls and then forgot you were the one holding the key. You are a ghost in your own life, watching through glass. But ghosts, I have learned, are just things that refuse to be forgotten. And you are still refusing. There were nights when you wished for an ending, not because you wanted to die, but because you wanted the pain to. And you could not see a way to separate the two. I watched you search for exits in the dark. I watched you stand at the edge of yourself. And yet, something in you kept refusing to die. It was not strength, though that is what they would call it. It was something smaller and more stubborn. A reflex buried so deep you could not kill it even when you wanted to. The part of you that still wakes up, that still opens your eyes to another morning you did not ask for. You think survival is not enough, that simply continuing does not count as courage. But I have watched empires fall and stars collapse into themselves. I have seen things built to last forever crumble into dust. And you, fragile, breakable, human, you are still here. That is not nothing. You kept giving softness to those who only offered coldness. You kept trying to water dead gardens, believing if you were gentle enough, patient enough, quiet enough, something would finally bloom. And when nothing did, you believed the failure was yours. But I see the truth you have hidden from yourself. You were planting seeds in concrete and calling yourself a bad gardener. There is a part of you that knows this, a part that has been trying to tell you for years. But you have become so skilled at not listening to yourself, at treating your own voice like background noise. You are not broken beyond repair. You are a mosaic pretending to be a wound. Every crack is a place where lights learn to enter. Every fracture is a map of where you have been and what you have survived. I see your exhaustion. Not the tiredness that sleep can fix, but the kind that lives in your bones. The weight of carrying everyone else's needs while letting your own starve in silence. Of being the strong one, the steady one, the one who never gets to fall apart. You were not built to be a foundation. You were built to be alive. And somewhere beneath the numbness and the noise, you still are. There are moments when you catch a glimpse of who you used to be. A laugh that sounds like the old you. A thought that feels like sunlight through fog. A second where you forget to perform and just exist. Those moments are not accidents. They are proof. You have survived every single version of the worst day of your life. Every moment you were certain you could not continue, you did. Every night you thought morning would never come, it came. And you are still here to see it. I know you do not feel proud of this. I know you think endurance is not the same as living. But even the stars only burn because they refuse to stop collapsing. You are still here, despite the weight, despite the silence, despite the way you have learned to betray yourself in small, daily ways. And that means something. It means the part of you that wants to live is stronger than the part that wants to disappear. Even if only by the smallest, most fragile margin. Even if it does not feel like strength. Even if it only feels like stubbornness. Like spite. Like one more breath, because stopping feels harder than continuing. I have watched you for longer than you know. I have seen you in the dark, when you thought no one was looking. I have seen the tears you swallowed, the screams you turned into silence, the self you buried because the world had no room for it. And I am telling you that self is not gone. It is waiting in the spaces between your heartbeats, in the moments when you forget to hide, in the seconds before sleep, when your guard comes down and you remember what it felt like to be whole. You were never lost, only buried under the weight of other people's expectations and your own impossible standards, only hidden beneath layers of survival and the belief that your pain was too much for the world to hold. But I see you. Not the version you show the world. Not the mask you have learned to wear so well. It feels like skin. I see the you underneath. The one who is tired and scared and still trying. The one who is still here. And that you broken, exhausted, barely holding on, that you is the bravest thing I have ever witnessed. You do not have to be fixed to be worthy. You do not have to be healed to deserve gentleness. You do not have to be strong to be enough. You only have to be here, and you are. Despite everything, despite the weight and the wounds and the world, you are still breathing, still trying, still finding small ways to continue. And somewhere in the dark, a part of you is still choosing to stay alive.